What is up, guys? Okay, so if you've watched my channel before, I am not a fan of Conor McGregor at all. Don't like him, can't stand him. Think he's probably the most disrespectful fighter possibly ever. Just don't like him. I'm going to be honest, that's my personal opinion. But I think he might be having a resurgence. With that said, he's been releasing a lot of sparring footage lately. And in this sparring footage, we're seeing glimpses of the original Conor McGregor that was the first ever double champ, who beat Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, who beat Eddie Alvarez with a really crisp, clean combo. Like I said, I don't like McGregor, but I have to give credit where credit is due and be unbiased. That is my professional duty. In this sparring footage, what's interesting also about the sparring footage, and we'll get into this as we go further down in the breakdown. So he's released some boxing footage of hitting pads since he's gotten injured throughout his recovery. And, there was some criticisms, oh, he doesn't look that good, whatever, whatever. Now that he's actually walking, he's sparring, he's doing all this, he looks like himself. And that's scary. That could be something big if he's able to make a comeback. That could set a spark worldwide to give another massive boom to the sport. Now, the thing that most interests me about his sparring footage lately is the fact that he's been doing a lot of grappling, a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of wrestling sparring footage he's been linking. Now, I'm no expert on jiu-jitsu or anything like that, but it looks so unlike Conor McGregor, which is what it needs to be. If Conor McGregor is to go up to 170 and challenge with these bigger guys, he needs to be a different fighter. He needs to be the 170 that fought and beat Nate Diaz in the rematch, that fought and beat Cowboy Cerrone. He has to be the fiercest Conor McGregor there has ever been, but he has to be different. He has to be something they're not expecting. If Conor McGregor gets a ground game, which no one expects, no one's ready for, no one's like, oh yeah, Conor McGregor's gonna take me down on the ground. No one's doing that. When he fought Nate Diaz the first time in the post-fight press conference, he was so surprised by the shot. He even made a quote saying, "Oh, so you're a wrestler now," is what he thought when Conor McGregor shot. No one expects Conor McGregor to go to the ground. He has one submission win in his entire career, and that was in Cage Warriors. Okay? Not in the UFC. His grappling has never been great. Okay? His kickboxing is what he's good at. So the fact that he is actively working on his jiu-jitsu, and it doesn't appear to be with Dylan Dennis, which is a huge improvement because Dylan Dennis, I believe, was more of a yes man and a distraction than anything else. So I believe that was the right move for him and his career. The problem, well, okay. So what happens next? Who's he going to fight? Here's the people I think he should fight. Jorge Masvidal. The Conor McGregor that is in the sparring footage could beat Jorge Masvidal. Possibly. Because Jorge's going to underestimate him. Everyone's going to underestimate him. But I'm watching the sparring footage. I'm watching him slip punches and countering. I'm watching him drop sparring partners. Now, considering the massive injury he had just a little over a year ago, that's a big improvement. Now, what's also very important to note is it's still with the left hand. His right hand needs to become more dominant. His right hand needs to be just as feared as his left. That's going to be key. If he can mix that right hand in more, he will go somewhere. See, because everyone's just looking for the left hand. That's what he has. He has that left hand. He has that sniper left hand. He locks and loads it, cocks it back, and just pounds it through your skull and knocks the lights out of you. That was his career at featherweight. Coming up, it's just the left hand knockout, knockout with the left hand every time. Rated in his kicks, they've become less frequent, less polished, and less feared. His spinning kicks used to be something to be afraid of. Now no one worries about it because he just tries to outbox you purely because he's so. I don't know if it's because he's mentally haunted by the Floyd Mayweather fight so much that that's all he can think of is the punching. But it looks like he's getting over that with the sparring footage of him kicking, him throwing kicks, him throwing punches, him mixing it in, him moving, slipping, all that stuff. But he cannot rush this. He's a big name, but he's a big name who has had multiple losses throughout his career recently. Last time he won was against Cowboy Cerrone. I think that was about 2 years ago now. He cannot rush in and mess up this last chance. If I'm him, as a warm-up fight, I'm finding someone like, let's see, who's in the welterweight division that could be really a warm-up? Trying to think. Since he's also in the degraded a little, I mean, he still looks better than McGregor has been in the last few years and done better than McGregor in the last few years. Tony Ferguson. We wanted that matchup years ago. We never got it. Now, hear me out. Those two scrapping could be legendary, but Tony is also someone to be feared. You don't want to throw him in or throw him in with someone like the Leech, for instance. Let's just say you throw him in there with someone like the Leech. Okay, maybe he wins. He's looking big right now, but can he use that weight and can he fight at that weight consistently? Fighting at different weight classes is harder than people think because you're punching with more force, which means you're using more stamina. So you have to learn how to pace yourself differently each and every weight class. So Conor McGregor has to take his time. Fight someone in the bottom of the top 15 if you're going to fight anyone in the top 15 when you first come back. Don't fight for a title right off the bat just because you think you deserve it because your name is Conor McGregor. That is foolish. Fight someone in the lower end. Get your feet back under you. And let's set up a massive fourth Poirier fight so you can get your face pounded in again. All right, McNugget? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's my analysis for now. Thank you. And as always, peace be with you.